the first one I want to ask you is you just brought up that you work with a lot of LE, large enterprises, okay? But you're saying that you're doing more small business to mid-size, working with more mom and pops. Which one do you prefer working with more? Large enterprises or the smaller businesses?
So the history of Articulate was me initially working on my own and only for big multinationals as a copywriter. Effectively, I was a recovering ex-journalist. As the business has grown, and there are nearly 20 of us now, we still have some multinational clients, but the size of the client has dropped down because we're doing more for them. I mean, we're a HubSpot Diamond partner. We build websites. We do branding, marketing, strategy. So the typical client now is 50 to 100 people. I mean, there are some bigger, some smaller. I think it's a different story. So I'm an entrepreneur. I run a small business. I can relate to and enjoy working with smaller companies because I understand some of what they're dealing with.
You don't have to go with all the egos or the boardrooms as much, too.
The funny thing is there's more ego, more politics, if you like, with smaller companies, weirdly. When working with the multinationals, we're always talking to professional marketing managers.
Yeah, I guess so. With what I do, it's a little bit different than what you do. So your experience with the marketing, yeah, I can see how that could be different.
And that way, it's a professional to professional, peer-to-peer conversation. They know what they want. We know how to deliver it. We're talking, so they give very clear briefings. They know exactly what and they typically rock up. We've got a budget to do, thought leadership content for the next 3 months, the next quarter. So we need 20 blog posts about something. Whereas the owner manager of a small business is like, I just want more customers. How do I help me get more customers, right? And we have to kind of educate them a little bit about okay, you need inbound lead capture, you need lead capture landing pages, you need top of funnel content, you need SEO, you need blah, 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 blah. In order to get the thing you want, we have to do all this other stuff. And so there's a different conversation, both of which are enjoyable, but it's sometimes a little harder with owner managers, I find.
Yeah, we have it. We kind of call it internally like a sophisticated customer versus an unsophisticated customer. And when we say unsophisticated, we're not saying that in a derogatory way. It just means this is a customer that needs hand-holding. You're going to have to teach them because they don't know what they don't know. And, they need a little bit more TLC than somebody that, again, we do my main job, Vision 33, sponsor of the show. But they, we do ERP. So I think SAP, Sage, they're the type of products that we implement for our customers. And when we have the sophisticated customer, somebody who's already done a implementation of this size, and this is maybe their second or their third platform that they're choosing, those are usually a lot easier than when it's their first time and they're like, hey, we have no idea what we want. We have no idea what we need. We need you guys. You guys are the experts. Tell us and teach us. And that's where oftentimes I find that to be more fun.
The bit of my job that I enjoy the most actually is, we call it strategy blueprints. So working with a company to understand and sort of capture and play back who they are, who they sell to, why they're different, what's interesting, their positioning, their messaging, their tone of voice, their differentiation. And it can be with a client that is having that, doing that for the first time. You can see that the revelation going on. They're going, oh, okay, I hadn't thought about it like that. And actually, I always sold to these people, but maybe I need to sell to those people. And so there can be a very satisfying collaborative journey on the strategy front, I think, much like you described. Not always, unfortunately, but quite often.
Yeah. We do the blueprint as well, too. Usually that's after they've decided on us. Like we do kind of like a mini blueprint during the sales cycle. And that's, we do that as a courtesy because we've got to get initial scope and figure out, okay, this is what the company, we peel back all the layers of the onion we can. But as a non-paid engagement, we can only go so far, so deep into the company. And then after they're a client and they're onboarding, that's where then we do the full business process review. And we figure out every process they have, from sales to shipping to, production, if they're manufacturing, or accounting, everything. Document it. And then we figure out, how do we automate that? So it sounds like you're doing that same type of thing, but on the marketing side.